Ladies and gentlemen, a big round. Lager Premier Soccer League, and they were led by a panel that was ably led by the convener, and that is the gentleman I'm going to call upon now to come forward and give us a few remarks on the selection process. Ladies and gentlemen, the convener of selectors, Lawrence Moyo.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be among the speakers on the night. We mark the return of the popular annual award ceremony following the COVID-19 interruption which affected the 2020 and 2021 league seasons. And it's actually a bigger honor given that I'm actually the first one on this podium. Also, having to speak to you guys before dinner, it's another honor because people tend to pay more attention before a meal. So a brief background of what went on. The selection process was done on the November 18, and I was among a group of, we call ourselves experts. So we're 9. And our role was very simple, just supervising the voting process. And of that group of 9, I was then chosen to lead the group, which is why I stand here as the convener of selectors. The others on that panel were Robson Charuko, Petros Kausio, Metlulis Banda, Howard Msonza, Ian Joma, Kevin Mapasure, and God knows Mataruse. These are from the media fraternity. And then we also had Thomas Square representing the Footballers Union of Zimbabwe. In moving with the times, the voting process moved from the traditional manual event at Mandel Training Center, where previously everyone would gather there and do their voting manually. It was done digitally with the panelists voting from wherever they were on the day. And then after every round of voting, the auditors who were where we were based would then verify the process, and we would only proceed to the next stage after they were satisfied that everything was done according to procedure. That is the reason the process then took a bit long. I think we finished just after 1. And also because the voting was done remotely, not everyone participated on the day in terms of those who were shortlisted, and even those who had participated in the other ballots, not everyone participated throughout. There were 80 panelists shortlisted, and they were coming from coaches, captains, and then the media. This is the highest number of panelists in the history of the award, and this was mainly triggered by the growth in the media platforms that we now have in the country, covering the print, radio, television, and online platforms. But however, from the 80 shortlisted panelists, the highest number of participants was for the 11 soccer stars, whereby 72 out of the 80 participated. This was followed by the Coach of the Year ballot, where 69 voted. The Goalkeeper of the Year and Promising Player of the Year had 66 voters each. The lowest number of voters was for the top 3. Only 63 people voted, which means there are 9 less than those that had selected the 11. And my assumption here is that there are some who thought that the way they had voted for the top 11 would then be used to determine the top 3. This year, the sponsor also introduced an interesting award, the People's Choice Award, whereby supporters had a say in the annual awards. The People's Choice Award, an online voting contest, attracted 9,179 voters. And they made a very interesting choice for the inaugural award. But you shall find out who this interesting winner is when the time comes a bit later on. But for now, you have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the proceedings. And finally, looking ahead to next year, we are hoping as convener, as the panel of experts, that the process gets even better. And our dream or wish is to have the rules for selection known before the first game of the season. This, I believe, would then help eliminate any conspiracy theories that usually emerge if rules are decided midway through the season or even at the end. And finally, I'm also hoping that we have a Journalist of the Year award added to this glamorous event, because I'm sure it will then also incentivize the members of the Fourth Estate whose contribution to the game deserves such an acknowledgement. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our convener of selectors, Mr. Lawrence Moyo, another round of applause, putting us into the picture as to how we arrive at the 11 players that have been selected as the finest in the land. I love the fact, Lawrence, that you did mention that there is a new award this season, and that is the People's Choice Award. So taking it away from the experts, taking it away from the pundits, and giving the game to the fans and asking them to decide who they thought was the standout performer for this season. And that shall be, of course, a very interesting award a bit later on in our awards ceremony. Thank you so much there, Lawrence, to you and your team for the outstanding work. At this moment in time, we'd like to call forward our host for tonight, and that is the Marketing Director at Delta Beverages, Mr. Irimai Mozorewa. Let's put our hands together for our sponsors.
To our guest of honor, Dr. Dube, who is currently the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation. To the Premier Soccer League Board Chairman, Mr. Fry Jerry. To the PSL CEO, Mr. Kenny Ndebele. To the Delta Corporation Acting CEO, Mr. Alex Makamure. Unfortunately, Mr. Valela was not able to join us today. To our operations directors, Mr. Moses Gambiza, as well as Dr. Nyandori in absentia. To the rest of the Delta Corporation Group Management Committee, Delta Beverages executives and management here present, representatives from the Sports and Recreation Commission, Premier Soccer League officials and members of the football fraternity present, and our important stakeholders from the media. I welcome you. I saw Mr. Madimutsira from Zim Papers and the rest of your team. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. And it is my honor to welcome you to this very special occasion where once again we come to celebrate the beautiful game of football. And in particular to celebrate those who stood out during this extended season. Our commitment to football remains firm through our long-standing partnership and sponsorship of the Premier Soccer League. and it is a pleasure once again to be here after a hiatus, as mentioned before, because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic saw us confining ourselves to our homes with very little movement happening, restricted to the four walls, and I'm sure we all became extremely familiar with members of our households in the process. But during this season, not only was it difficult for the general public, but it's also difficult for the players, as there was no action on the fields. But I would like to commend the efforts of the Premier Soccer League in consultation, obviously, with relevant ministry and government officials and other stakeholders who made this season happen. The season started off with a modified version of the Chibuku Super Cup. And while this was extended, we did see some exciting action on the field of play. As the season progressed, we saw the leadership of the seasoned coaches and players, as well as the impact of ushering in new blood into team structures as part of efforts to create an enabling environment for players, coaches, and the clubs to flourish. This season, we saw a total of 306 matches played, 594 goals scored, and 116 matches televised live. I cannot overemphasize the importance of this, and I would like to thank our partners at ZTN for your sterling efforts in making sure that the game was brought to the people. Accessibility to the games through television, radio, as well as stadia remains critical to the overall success of the league. This is more so because we know that the pandemic and its effect forced many of us to change our habits, routines, and lifestyles. We do know that there were a lot of views that were put forward during the course of this season on the state of football in the country. And there were many reasons around these root causes. But nonetheless, it is critical for every one of us in this room to adopt a multi-stakeholder approach to address these concerns. Not just for our own benefit, but for the benefit of the game. As I mentioned earlier, the role of our media partners cannot be really overemphasized. Significant strides have been made by local stations to give us the opportunity to have presence through direct-to-home platforms, and in particular ZTN and ZTN Prime, through the DSTV channels. And like I said, I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of the ZTN team here. And we did take some time to go and visit their facilities, and I must say that for those in the media space, you've got some serious competition coming up. Not to be left out, our journalists in the print media, who were busy all season writing their stories and keeping the nation updated on what transpired during the season. Your efforts are always appreciated. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Chibuku Super Cup champions, Bulawayo Chiefs, for their maiden win. It was an absolute delight to see thousands of fans streaming into Barberfield Stadium and coming together to support the competing teams. But what impressed me the most, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of the PSL chairman, CEO, as well as the GM for Chibuku, Mr. Marshall Pemiwa, was the sight of the Highlanders supporters who came donned in their iconic black and white jerseys to support the very same team that knocked them out of the quarterfinals of that tournament. To our league four-peat champions, FC Platinum, we raise our glasses to you tonight for your sterling record-breaking performance and also confirming your place at the high table of Zimbabwean football. Congratulations once again. To our stars and winners, tonight is your night, and we're here to celebrate you. We thank you for your hard work and sterling performances all season long. You make the game of football what it is today, and we'd like to congratulate you for that. What remains is to see who's going to be taking home the biggest prize tonight, and wish you all the best. As mentioned by Mr. Moyo, we did introduce a new award, the People's Choice Award, and this was voted for based on the 11 finalists who were selected. The 9,179 voters who cast their ballots was indeed an astonishing figure, given this is the first time that we had this. And this was actually in response to, comments that were coming through on various, online platforms, not just on the Castle Lager pages, but also the PSL pages, to have this award introduced. So we listened. And tonight, the winner will be announced, as mentioned, a little bit later. Finally, I'd like to congratulate and thank our partners, the Premier Soccer League, as well as other stakeholders for bringing the game of football back to the people. Together with your support and that of various stakeholders, you remained resilient, nimble, transparent, and committed in the face of adversity, despite the many challenges that were thrown your way during this pandemic. I would also like to thank the Delta team, ably led by Mr. Valera, but in particular, I would like to single out members of my team. Ladies, may you please stand? You would like to know that within my team, we only have 2 gentlemen in there. It's predominantly dominated by the ladies. So this says a lot to the meticulous nature within which these events and sponsorships are organized. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank our audits and IT teams for their diligence in terms of verifying the process and putting together the systems. And maybe to Mr. Moyo, I think after our meeting, I can confirm that we will make efforts to introduce the new things that we did speak about. So again, we are listening and we want to deliver. I'd also like to thank the organizers, Priti and her team, for a sterling job. And you may want to know that this is the 20th year that Priti Maposa has been involved in the organization of the Soccer Star of the Year Awards. And we'd like to thank you for that. We certainly look forward to an exciting start of the next season, obviously starting off with the Castle Challenge Cup. And this will obviously then pit the winners of the league, FC Platinum, with Bulawayo Chiefs. I guess the venue will then be announced in due course. But with that said, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for coming through. And I'd like to wish you a very pleasant, safe, and festive season and a prosperous 2023. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for the marketing director at Delta Beverages, Mr. Irimai Muzorewa. And we would like to raise our glass to you, Irimai, for all of the support that you continue to give to sport in general and football in particular in the nation of Zimbabwe. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Irimai Muzorewa. As well as I personally would like to raise my glass to you for leading such a diverse team. Behind every great man, I don't know, there's something that's they say something about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Irimai Muzorewa. And he spoke about the amount of games, the amount of goals. He spoke about the fact that football came back strong after the pandemic. And it needed all the partners to rally together. One of those key partners is those that actually run the league. And running the league at the very helm is the captain of that ship. And the captain of that ship is the board chairman of the Premier Soccer League. Ladies and gentlemen, let me call up the board chairman of the Premier Soccer League right now, Mr. Farai Jere.
Thank you so much. The Director of Ceremonies, Guest of Honor, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, Dr. Benson Dwe. Minister of Youth, Arts and Recreation representatives, Sports and Recreation Commissioner Board Chairman, in absentia, he was supposed to be here, Mr. Gerald Mlochwa, Acting Director General, SRC, Mr. Sebastian Garikai, is somewhere around here, I saw him. ZIFA President, Mr. Gift Banda, in ZIFA Executive Committee members here present. Delta Beverages, Acting Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Alex Makamure. Delta Beverages Marketing Director, Mr. Irmai Mzorewa. Operations Director, Lager Beer, Mr. Moses Gambiza. Operations Director, So Gambia, Dr. Miara Nyandoro, is in absence here. General Manager Lagers, Mr. Tichafar Nomota. Executive Management and staff of Delta Beverages. Premier Soccer League Board of Governors. Premier Soccer League Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Kenin Devele. Leaders of various clubs who are here present. Legends of our football in Zimbabwe, I saw quite a number of them here. Conveners and selectors of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League Awards. Members of football fraternity, members of media, Fourth State, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I welcome you all to the most special night of our year, where we recognize the very best players in our game and honor all those who have contributed significantly to the success of the 2021-2022 Castle Lager Premier Soccer season. I'd like to congratulate the Soccer Star finalists for your hard work, commitment, and recognition that you have deservedly earned. However, your success goes beyond the trophy, as we have all set an example that will be an inspiration for many today and for future generations. I urge you to continue to achieve excellence in your football careers. While we celebrate tonight, it is important to highlight that our season has endured its challenges due to COVID-19 period. Where main football activities were suspended for the entire year, we are still trying to find our footing. We have encountered a number of challenges that we are working hard to improve come the next season. A total of 594 goals were scored from the 306 matches played in the Castle Lager Premiership, and 24 goals were scored in the Chibuku Super Cup. Our top goal scorer sits on 17 goals. We hope to see more goals in the next season. Our main goals going forward will be to improve the quality of our football, making it attractive to sponsors, corporate partners, and most importantly, the fans. We will be focusing more on implementing club licensing. We want to assist the clubs to establish strong secretariat for proper football governance, effective communication and marketing. As we are aware, secretariat are the nerve center and the heartbeat of professional clubs. We will also be focusing on the improvement of infrastructure and development of youth football. We will strive to ensure that all clubs have junior teams. When I went for our AGM and EGM in Bulawayo, I was so humbled and touched with the way all the Bulawayo teams are very much organized in terms of their junior policy. I arrived on Saturday in the morning. Then I had the privilege to go and watch the juniors of Highlanders and Chicken Inn. They are under 13s, under 15s, and under 17s. Well done for the clubs which are doing that. Thank you very much, the Bulawayo teams. I was so impressed. We are going to continue capacitating our administrators to ensure that they have the requisite qualities to lead our football. Overall, we strive to emulate world trends to make our football more competitive. The advancement of football requires collaborative effort from everyone. We therefore call upon all key stakeholders to join us in promoting our football. Let me say this. For the first time since I've been the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, I'm very much impressed tonight the whole inclusivity which has been shown by all the stakeholders, the ministry, the SRC, and all the key stakeholders of football are here tonight. It's quite encouraging. It shows that the future is very, very bright for our football, because when all the stakeholders can be in one room at the same time, even the reporting process, it will be more of formality than a requirement. Thank you, Dr. Due, leading your team. We are very, very happy and impressed by that. Ladies and gentlemen, our partnership with Delta Beverages through the Castle Lager and Chibuku brands has enabled us to grow and transform local football. They have once again contributed towards the success of our football season, despite the COVID-19 pandemic that left most companies struggling. Delta Beverages have remained our pillar of strength, sustaining our football, and for that, we are truly grateful. Thank you so much, Delta Beverages. As the chairman, I'm quite humbled. You are all weather friends. We had a very, very exciting tournament in Bulawayo. You were there, and during the COVID, we renewed our contract with the Delta Beverages, and it was at a point when I thought that these guys were saying, no, there's nothing to play for, but you stood by us. Thank you so much. I would like to also thank all our partners who over the years have shown faith in our brand. I would like to applaud the Castle Lager Premier League clubs for competing and fulfilling all matches under the difficult economic environment. Thank you, gentlemen. I know what you go through as the club owners, as the representatives of different owners of these teams. I would like to thank you guys for the resilience which you have shown over the past years. You have done extremely well, and our league, in as far as I'm concerned, is quite competitive because of your resilience, because of the effort which you guys put in football. I forever thank you for that. I'm grateful to our general supporters. We have sacrificed their resources and graced the stadium each week to rally behind their teams. We hope to see them in huge numbers next season. Yeah, thank you. I know it was not easy for you, especially one of the biggest problems which the reporters talk about, the funds. But I would like our members of the fourth state tonight to analyze it in this perspective. We have had full houses in Bulawayo, but it's the same league. I think national sports, we need Rufaro Stadium to come back. The director of ceremony, I'm happy you're here. I have to give you this task so that you help us to bring the home of football back, because this was demonstrated by Baba Fields. If I tell you that Cape United versus Dynamos at the National Sports Stadium didn't have the number of fans which we had between Cape United and I don't want to talk of Islanders, but that was full house, and Chicken Inn at Baba Fields. I think these two stadiums were strategically placed for the fans in terms of accessibility as opposed to National Sports Stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, but I think it's mostly for national events and cup finals. So if you may help us for the next season to have the home of football, Rufaro Stadium and Gwanzura back, that will help us in a big way. I would like also to acknowledge all our stakeholders, the government of Zimbabwe, the Ministry of Youth and Arts and Recreational, the Sports Recreational Commission and other sporting bodies for the support they continuously give us. Special mention goes to our television partners, Zimbabwe Television Network and members of the Fourth State for spreading our game across Zimbabwe and beyond. We value your support. But as we sat down as the Board of Governors, we also felt that come 2023, we need radio. Because it was very clear that there's a positive relationship between the fans' attendance to our stadiums and radio commentary. That is also one of the things which was missing, and we have resolved that we need to bring radio back. Because that excitement is actually what made some of us support football. So it's lacking. We are missing the voices of Charles Mabiga, Achimdawa. We are missing those. Once we bring that, it's also going to help even our sponsors to see more fans coming to our stadiums. We are also cognizant of the contribution of the Premier Soccer League staff, other behind-the-scenes staff and volunteers whose contribution go a long way towards hosting successful season. We appreciate you. I take this opportunity to congratulate FC Platinum for winning their 4th Castle Premier Trophy. They've done amazingly well and dominated our league. I would also like to congratulate Blawai Chiefs for clinching the Chibuk Super Cup Trophy, a well-deserved achievement. I watched that match and it defied the odds, and it sends a clear message that our Premier Soccer League is quite competitive. It was quite a mouth-watering match. I enjoyed every bit of it, including the sponsors whom I was sitting with. We enjoyed every moment. Thank you very much for the finalists. That was a very good cup final. Finally, I would like to pay tribute to all those receiving awards here this evening. Makoro Koto, Amhlope to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas, happy festive season, and please enjoy your festive season responsibly. We want you back next season. I want you to be very safe. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the board chairman of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, Mr. Farai Jere. Let's give him a round of applause as he exits the stage. And, you know, just before we started, Mr. Jere, pressure among Mr. Jere. We need to get this thing started. When are you starting? When are you starting? And I thought this has got nothing to do with the function, Barry. World Cup is.
Who's playing tonight?
Brazil.
There we go.
And I thought, I think he wants to watch Brazil. But let's give you an update, guys. Unfortunately, there shall be no revenge. Ghana yashagadwa ne Uruguay. Yaro wazakare 2-0. And again, they missed the penalty, Barry. Again.
They missed a penalty again. And at that stage, it was 0-0. So Ghana leaves the tournament. But if there's any solace, Uruguay too will be leaving the tournament.
Yes, that's because South Korea beat Portugal 2-1 with virtually the last kick of the game. So that's your World Cup update. But we're not here for the World Cup. We're here for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. We've just heard from the sponsors. We've heard from the Premier Soccer League. And now it gives us great honor to hear from our guest of honor.
Indeed, and in that regard, we'd like to call upon the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, Dr. Benson Dube, to please come forward and give us his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, a big round of applause.
ceremonies for the events directors. At times they call them masters of ceremonies, MCs, but if they become events directors, they become EDs, huh? But small EDs. Sport and Recreation Commission Board Chairman, Mr. Gerard Mlojwa in absentia, Acting Director General of the Sports and Recreation Commission, Mr. Sebastian Garikai, Acting Director of Sport and Recreation in the Ministry of Youth, Sport, Arts and Recreation, Mr. Ignatius Vambe, Acting Ministry of Youth, Sport, Arts and Recreation Provincial Head for Harare Metropolitan Province, Mr. Arthur Mdarikwa. Too many acting. I'm also acting. Zimbabwe Football Association President, Mr. Gift Banda in absentia. ZIFA CEO and your staff here present. The chairman of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Farai Jere, and your fellow board members here present. The PSL Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Kenin Debele, and your entire PSL staff here present. Delta Beverages Acting Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Alex Makamure. Delta Beverages Marketing Director, Mr. Erimai Muzorewa. Operations Director, Lagabia, Mr. Moses Kambiza. Operations Director, Sogambia, Mr. Mnyaradzi Nyandoro. General Manager Lagas, Mr. Tichafa Rinomota. Executive Management and Staff of Delta Beverages here present. Other soccer business partners here present. Zimbabwe National Sports Associations here present. Conveners and selectors of the Castle Lager PSL Awards 2022. The legends of football in Zimbabwe. Members of the football fraternity. Members of the media fraternity. Distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this glamorous evening to recognize all of you in this august event, gathered to celebrate the glory of some of our living soccer legends. I'm honored and humbled to be a part of this gathering, convened by the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, which seeks to honor our soccer stars of the year 2022. Today, we are experiencing an important gathering after a very long lull when the beautiful game of football and other sport disciplines had been postponed for 2 years due to the devastating scourge of COVID-19 pandemic. We did lose quite a number of lives during the past 2 years as a result of this invincible and non-selective, notorious, diabolic, demonic, and satanic scourge called COVID-19. May we, at this juncture, may we all stand and observe a minute of silence in memory of all those that lost their precious souls due to this devastating pandemic. May their dear souls rest in peace and power. May we all take our seat. Ladies and gentlemen, My ministry, in collaboration with the Sports and Recreation Commission, SRC, and the Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA, is working and continues to work very hard in making sure that football remains the #1 sport for our lovely nation, Zimbabwe. There are initiatives being undertaken to culminate in the improvement and development of football in our country, as well as supporting the Zimbabwe National Development Strategy 1 objectives. One of the NDS 1 objectives being the promotion of sport for increased public health and improved physical as well as mental well-being of our populace. While we are cognizant of the difficult economic environment we are living in, as the government, we are and will do our best to ensure that the sports sector remains visible and vibrant. Ladies and gentlemen, for our soccer to be a force to reckon with, its visibility and vibrancy ought to be characterized by corporate governance that is compared to none. This can only be achieved if football clubs have legally binding statutes showing their ownership models. It is therefore very important for ZIFA and PSL to come up with written club licensing regulations in order to professionalize football clubs. Clubs must be properly structured with clear pathways that lead in the development of football. The PSL clubs must have offices manned by qualified personnel, both in administration offices and on the technical side. These must be people of integrity and high esteem. It is the role of PSL clubs to develop, identify, and nurture talent for the national teams. PSL clubs must provide leadership in the development of both men and women football. We encourage ZIFA and PSL to come up with vibrant youth development programs from grassroots level for the benefit of sport. Sport has great potential as a vehicle for development and as a tool for improving the livelihood of individuals and communities. Soccer, in particular, is the largest movement in the entire world that brings together people of different backgrounds with different ideologies. It does not discriminate human beings against human beings on either tribe, race, color, or creed, poor or rich, young or old. It is a silent unifier and a global tool to use for spreading messages of peace and harmony. The government of Zimbabwe has set aside funds for the renovation of all sporting facilities in the country to conform to international standards. The state of our infrastructure is a cause for concern. We urge stadium owners and other stakeholders to come on board and ensure that we have well-maintained and modern sporting facilities that meet club licensing requirements in the key areas of pitch quality, safety, and security of players, referees, and spectators. We understand that sporting facilities provide strong benefits to the community at large. Authorities responsible for the maintenance and upgrading of these sporting facilities must always create a standalone budget meant for the upkeep of these infrastructures. I therefore urge our city fathers in different local authorities to come up with a robust paradigm shift when it comes to the maintenance of these recreational facilities. They must not let these stadia deteriorate to antiquity, but to move with the modern times and keep our stadia always at internationally recognized standards. As the ministry responsible for sport and football in particular, we urge ZIFA and PSL to engage tertiary institutions to come up with specified capacity building programs for sports administration. It is commendable that our colleges and tertiary institutions now conduct sports administration courses. I urge sport leaders to also enroll at these institutions and be fully capacitated in order to deliver on the expected outcomes in their quest for excellency. Teams in the PSL should aspire to adopt a system of sound governance that promotes transparency and growth in the game of football. There is need for a collective effort in eradicating violence and hooliganism in football. Sport brings us together as a country, and as such, we should always ensure safety and security at all match venues, before, during, and after the games. Let us all aspire to inspire these youngsters before we expire. I would like to acknowledge the contributions being made by Delta Beverages towards sport in Zimbabwe. Not only are they bankrolling the Castle Lager Premiership Soccer League and the Chibuku Super League, but they are also involved with various other sporting disciplines under their different brands. We commend you for transforming the sports sector into a pathway towards podium performance by some of our athletes. I would like to acknowledge other corporates who are sponsoring and owning football clubs in the PSL and lower divisions, and who continued their social responsibilities despite the mandatory break during the COVID-19 pandemic period. Some of these corporates have also invested in infrastructure development, and this is highly commended. And we in sports will continue to pray for God's mercy to prolong your sporting lives to eternity. We call upon other corporates to come on board and support our sport industry and grow their brands through sport. Sport, and soccer in particular, plays an important role in our economic, social development, and it remains the responsibility of all of our efforts combined to realize its benefit. Ladies and gentlemen, to the stars that are before us tonight, I say to you, congratulations for making it to this podium stage despite the hurdles of the mandatory break caused by COVID-19. I urge you to shun drug and substance abuse and remain focused in order to reach your maximum in your football career and during your shelf life. I encourage you to drink Castle responsibly and promote the brand of our esteemed corporate sponsors, Delta Beverages. To those of you, dear soccer stars, who will be crowned above others tonight, we congratulate you in advance. And to those of you who will not make it to the crown, I say to you, keep on playing the game, and the next time it will be you. With these few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I know today Brazil is playing Cameroon. Saka tinokutendai ngiyalibonga. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. I thank you and good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Dr. Benson Dube is the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation. One more time, let's thank our guest of honor as he exits the stage. I was quite positive. You see, he did come out by himself to mention the World Cup. So I knew that he was pushing. Mr. Jerry, you were an emissary. I knew he was pushing. If we could have someone to come and remove the podium here, or the lectern and the microphone. Can one of our floor members of the floor team, if you could come and remove the podium and the microphone. We are just about to transition, ladies and gentlemen, into the awards ceremony, which is the reason why we're here, Barry.
It is the reason that we are here. We're getting into our awards ceremony, and then after the awards ceremony, we will be able to partake in our dinner as part of the banquet. That is largely because right now we are live on DSTV. We are going live, and the plan was to go live at 8:30. So that time has arrived, and we're diving into our awards ceremony.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, like we said, to honor the 11 finest footballers in the land. But before we get there, and before we get to the main awards of this evening, it is only fitting that we pay a special tribute to the champions of the season that has just gone by, season 2021-2022. They have already been lauded so much and so fittingly, Barry, in the speeches that have been made by the sponsors, by the league, by the guest of honor. 4 times on the spin, Barry. 4 times on the spin.
It's ridiculous to think of that FC Platinum has won league championship after league championship and continue to move in the right trajectory as a football club in the nation. And indeed, they do have those development structures that the PSL chairman was talking about, and certainly a beacon and an example in terms of the football clubs in this country. But 4 times is absolutely ridiculous.
And they did so in style as well, finishing off the season on a 21-match unbeaten run. Now, a lot of people, Barry, when we had conversations at the start of the season, because there was a talk of FC Platinum has pressed the reset button. And there are a lot of people who thought that, you know what, if there was a season that another club could weave their way onto the winner's podium, it could be this season, as FC Platinum was trying to find its feet at the start of the season. But once they hit their straps, Barry, they were virtually unstoppable. And of course, testament to that is that 21-match unbeaten run that sealed the title triumph this season. And there's no better place for us to start than with a tribute to our champions. Ladies and gentlemen, FC Platinum. Ladies and gentlemen, your champions, the AFC Platinum. Let's give them a warm round of applause. And we want to pay special tribute to them this evening.
We do want to pay special tribute and hand over the trophy. The trophy is coming up, the giant trophy for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. And to present the trophy to our champions, allow me to call upon our presentation party, the marketing director of Delta Beverages, our guest of honor, Dr. Dube, and indeed the board chair of the Board of Trustees of the Premier Soccer League. Please, could you come forward and present the trophy to our champions, Pure Platinum Play.
And the Pure Platinum Play family is in the house as our guest of honor and his entourage make their way. If you are here representing the champions, FC Platinum, Anzi Kugona, Kunenge Kudada, Pure Platinum Play, we want to call you forward now. Members of the FC Platinum family, this is your time. Members of the executive, we have seen the coach, Norman Mapeza is here, Mshina Omajuzi. We have seen the members of the executive, they are here. Chino Chizondo here. Let's give them a round of applause as they come forward, ladies and gentlemen. The FC Platinum family is here.
We can do better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the family of Pure Platinum Play, making it look so easy, but 4 times on the spin, our champions for season 2021-2022.
As the head coach is here, the club president as well, Mr. Bashingaidze, Dr. Bashingaidze is here. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your champions. 4 times on the spin, ladies and gentlemen, FC Platinum, your champions for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League.
The trophy handed over to the head coach, Norman Mapeza, who led his troops, and fittingly 3 of them are part of the 11 finalists as Soccer Stars of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, your champions one more time, FC Platinum. And now, ladies and gentlemen, not on your program, we would like to present a very special honorary award, and for that we're going to hand over to the marketing director of Delta Beverages, Mr. Irumai Muzorewa.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. The road in which we have traveled for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer Star of the Year Awards has been very long. And tonight we'd like to recognize one individual who has traveled with us on this journey for 30 years. His contribution to sports journalism cannot be rivaled. I knew him personally from a trip we did to South Africa as part of the Castle Africa Fives. And we had got some stories to share, but we won't share too many of them. But this is really to acknowledge his impact on the game from a journalism perspective. And like I said, he has been part of this selection process in various roles for 30 straight years. At this juncture, I'd like to ask the Godfather to come up and receive a token of our appreciation. This is but a first step in what the convener of selectors, Mr. Moyo, mentioned about recognizing the efforts of journalists to the promotion of soccer in the country. So the journey starts today, Mr. Moyo. Thank you very much.
Big thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, congratulations to Robson Sharuko, popularly known as the Godfather, an immense contribution to journalism and of course to this game that we love so much. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's put it together for Robson Sharuko.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering our awards. And to commence that, to present the Most Disciplined Team of the Year award, allow me to call upon from Delta Beverages, Kundai Mawema, and the Technical Director at the Zimbabwe Football Association, Mr. Wilson Mutekere.
And ladies and gentlemen, our winners, the most disciplined team in the league. Ngezi Platinum Stars Madamburo. And I would like to call forward a representative of Ngezi Platinum Stars to come forward and receive that accolade for the most disciplined team in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. I can see their club captain, Kada Amin, walking forward. Let's give him a round of applause. Their coach is also here, Teiksho Chiragui.
As well as their club president, Ngezi Platinum Stars, ladies and gentlemen, the most disciplined team of the year for season 2021-2022. Madamburo, Ngezi Platinum Stars.
A big thank you to our presentation party as well as to our winners. And that, of course, was for the most disciplined team in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, Ngezi Platinum Stars. And we're moving on to our next award.
We are indeed, and that is the awards for the referee of the year, where we have the second runner-up, first runner-up, and of course the overall referee of the year. And to present those awards, allow me to call upon Patience Dingani and Dr. Chagonda.
Dr. Chagonda and Patience Dingani, let's give them a round of applause as they come forward to present the accolades to the outstanding match officials that were in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League this past season. And there are 3 awards, Barry, to be given.
There are indeed, Michael, and we'll start with the second runner-up in the referee of the year, season 2021-2022. And the second runner-up is Tafadzwa Nkala.
Second runner-up, Tafadzwa Nkala. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Second runner-up, referee of the year. One of the outstanding match officials in our league.
They get a lot of abuse from the fans, sometimes abused by the players, but they do their job notwithstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, second runner-up in the referee of the year category 2021-2022, Tafadzwa Nkala. Next up, the first runner-up for Referee of the Year, Faith Mloyi.
Big cheers for Faith Mloyi as she comes forward. The first runner-up for the Referee of the Year category.
And
it's nice to see that we've seen, of course, an increase, almost a swell in the number of female match officials in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League.
Indeed, last night was an historic night for female officials, certainly at the World Cup, where a men's FIFA World Cup match was refereed by a full ladies panel, and so they are indeed moving in leaps and bounds, and football is moving in the right trajectory. Ladies and gentlemen, first runner-up, Referee of the Year, Faith Mloyi.
Big round of applause for Faith as she exits, and we now of course wait for the most outstanding match official, Barry, for season 2021-2022.
Getting the top gong as Referee of the Year, Martin Chivandire.
Martin Chivandire, ladies and gentlemen, adjudged the best referee in the land. Well done, Martin. Let's give Martin Chivandire a round of applause, and also a big thank you to our presentation party.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is for the top goal scorer of the year for the season 2021-2022. And to present this award, allow me to call upon the General Manager for Chibuku, and that is Mr. Marshall Pemiwa, and the CEO of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Kennedy Ndebele. You can give them a round of applause as they come. Marshall Pemiwa, of course, from the brand that sponsors the cup competition in the top tier of domestic football, the Chibuku Super Cup, which this year was won by Bulawayo Chiefs. They will be participating in the Castle Challenge Cup, which is the prelude to season 2023.
And of course, with him is, I would call you the CEO of the Premier Soccer League, but Liverpool fans will know him as a troll on Facebook. The man who is willing to rub our noses in the muck whenever Liverpool loses. But Manchester United has taught him a fair bit about humility over the last 5 years. But ladies and gentlemen, it's Kennedy Ndebele. Good to see you, Kennedy. And of course, presenting the one award that we all know, the one player that we all know, and that is the winner of the Top Goal Scorer Award from Caps United, Makepe Kepe, William Manondo.
"17 goals this season." He was scoring for fun in a Caps United side that didn't have too much of a great season, but he was a shining light. William Manondo, the striker from Caps United, Makepe Kepe, our top goal scorer of the year for season 2021-2022.
Thank you very much to our presentation party. We thank Mr. Marshall Pemiwa and, of course, Mr. Kennedy Ndebele. Thank you so much. And William, of course, we will be seeing, I think, a bit of him later on when we shall, of course, pay tribute to our 11 soccer stars of the year, because he's just not the top scorer, but he's also amongst the 11 finest footballers in the land.
We're actually going to ask the CEO of the Premier League to come back, the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Kenny Ndebele. And we did it deliberately to let you sit down so that you could have your moment in the sun and then return so that everyone can give you applause. And he is joined by Ms. Faith Musinga to present the Coach of the Year Award. Kenny Ndebele, the CEO of the Premier Soccer League, and Faith Musinga.
And ladies and gentlemen, at this moment in time, we would like to call forward the auditors of this event to present to us the winners of the main categories. There he is, of course, walking up. He's got a case, a la Bernard Chizero. Come to present the budget.
Or Professor Mtuli Ngube.
Mtuli Ngube, yes. You know, but Bernard Chizero was like, what is it? It's time for us to tighten our belts.
Belts, yes.
Yes. So thank you so much. These are the results. If you could just open them for us. Yes. So as you can see, of course, these are the envelopes, and they are envelopes with the different awards. They are all inside. And we shall then, of course, begin the process. So to our auditors, thank you so much for the work that you have been doing and the work, of course, that you have done in the lead up to this event. And of course, we are starting with the winner for the Coach of the Year Award.
And of course, in true auditor fashion, the envelopes aren't easy to open.
The Coach of the Year winner 2021, 2022. There's the name of the club and name of the coach. The winner is Norman Mapeza, FC Platinum.
Our winner, ladies and gentlemen, the coach of the title winners, Norman Mapeza, the Coach of the Year. They say winning is a habit, and it's something that FC Platinum has developed, and it's certainly something that Norman Mapeza has got in his DNA. Once again, the Coach of the Year, ladies and gentlemen. An outstanding player during his time, outstanding midfielder, outstanding defender, and now he's, of course, making sure that he's equally as outstanding as a coach. Norman Mapeza, your Coach of the Year.
Congratulations to the coach of AFC Platinum, Norman Mapeza, Coach of the Year. And now we'll present the award for the most promising player of the year, season 2021-2022. And to present that award, allow me to call upon Angel Mashingaidze and Stix Mutizwa.
Stike. Ayo angato mbere ma legends edu. You know, earlier on when they were talking about we need to get radio back. Vanamkoma Stike ndo vakaita mbiri pa radio. You know, takatiri kwedu kusanya tu. Tichingonza kuti kuna Stanford Stix Mutizwa. And now here we are, Mkoma Stix, on the same stage. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the most promising player of the year for season 2021-2022.
Most promising player of the year, the winner 2021 and 2022 is Jaden Barake of Wawa.
The winner is Jaden Barake of Wawa. The side that is based in the Midlands, plays out of Ascot Stadium. Sadly relegated this season, but certainly one of the shining lights of Wawa was Jaden Barake, a striker who scored many goals for Wawa, and in a Wawa team that played with great excitement and played passing football, Michael, that certainly wowed many.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they had a lot of young players, Barry, a lot of young players, exciting young players, but he was the leading light in that team. And the season may not have gone as they had planned, but I think Jaden Baraka certainly is one of their success stories and a success story in our league. The most promising player in our league. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much to our presentation party. Thank you to Angel. But we're going to ask Mkoma Stike to stay behind, the coach of Black Rhinos, and to join him on stage to present Goalkeeper of the Year. We're going to call upon of Delta Beverages, Tumai Mafunga, to please come forward and join Mkoma Sticks Mtizwa so that we can present the Goalkeeper of the Year award.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to announce Goalkeeper of the Year winner 2021-2022. The name is Nelson Tapiwa Chajga of Ngezi Platinum Stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Goalkeeper of the Year, Nelson Chajga of Madambu Rongezi Platinum Stars. Phenomenal season, lots of clean sheets, and proved his mettle between the sticks for Madambu Rongezi Platinum Stars. A big round of applause for our Goalkeeper of the Year and our presentation party.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now heading to the meat of the matter. We are heading to the point in the program where we find out who the three most outstanding players in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League are. But before we get there, let's remind you who those 11 soccer stars of the year are, as we need to honor them and, of course, give them their accolades.
To present the accolades to our 11 finalists, allow me to call upon the Delta Beverages Marketing Director, Mr. Muzerewa, Irimai Muzerewa. Would like to also call upon Mr. Rene Mota, and the Board Chair of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, Mr. Farai Ijere.
And ladies and gentlemen, if we could turn our attention to the screens as we honor our 11 outstanding players, starting off with Brian Musa of Chicken Inn.
Brian Musa, Chicken Inn FC.
Brian Musa of Chicken Inn scored many goals for the Gamecocks as they pursued both Dynamos and FC Platinum throughout the season. And we can say that this man was chief among ensuring that that pursuit was not in vain. They didn't get there in the end, but certainly gave themselves a good chance. Brian Musa of the Gamecocks, Chicken Inn. Next, from Madamburo, Ngezi Platinum Stars, Delik Alphonse Murimba.
Delik Murimba, Ngezi Platinum Stars.
Thank you, Delik Murimba. Next up, Divine Mindirira of Highlanders.
Divine Mindirira, Highlanders FC.
From Black Rhinos, Eli Ilunga.
Eli Ilunga, Black Rhinos FC.
Outstanding midfield performer for Black Rhinos, Chauya Chipembere, Eli Ilunga, ladies and gentlemen. And from Dynamos, Chazunguza, Frank Makarati.
Frank Makarate, Dynamos FC.
From FC Platinum, Gift Bello.
Gift Bello, FC Platinum.
Gift Bello making his second return as a Soccer Star of the Year finalist, a 7-time winner of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, one of the most decorated players that this game has ever seen here in Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, Gift Bello. Next from Madamburo, Ngezi Platinum Stars, Nelson Tapiwa Chajga.
Nelson Chajga, Ngezi Platinum Stars.
19 clean sheets in his performances for Madamburo. Ngezi Platinum Stars are playing out of the Baobab Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Chajga.
Nelson already a winner tonight as the goalkeeper of the year. And of course, he is with Ngezi Platinum Stars. Let's welcome from Herentals Football Club, Tinotenda Benza.
Tino Benza, Herentals Football Club.
Tino Benza, phenomenal footballer, plays all across the forward line for Herentals. Mostly loves to operate on the wing and had a phenomenal season for Herentals. They're popularly known as the Students, but certainly he was the one giving out lessons this past season. Tino Benza. Ladies and gentlemen, from the champions, goalkeeper Wallace Magalane.
Wallace Magalane, FC Platinum.
Wallace Magalane of the champions, AFC Platinum, an outstanding season from Wallace. I think 16 clean sheets he had this season in a phenomenal performance for AFC Platinum. And he started the season not, of course, as the first choice. I think the club captain, Petros Mari, was in goal, but he took his chance with both hands, seized his opportunity, and he stayed in goal for the rest of the season with brilliant performance after brilliant performance. Also from FC Platinum, let's welcome Walter Tatenda Musona.
Walter Musona, FC Platinum.
Walter Musona, the number 10 from FC Platinum, of course 10 on his back, but plays right across the forward line. Absolutely phenomenal winger. Chased down William Manondo in the race for the Golden Boot. Could have scored many more, but in football, you take the chances that come your way and you're likely to win matches, and Walter Musona certainly did that. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, our Golden Boot winner, or our top goal scorer of the year, William Manondo from Caps United.
William Manondo, Caps United FC.
William Manondo from Caps United, the top goal scorer of the year. I'm going to ask our presentation party to take your positions at the side of the screen so we can get a group picture for our soccer stars. If our presentation party could just move in the way, out of the way.
Come and join me, Irmai and team.
Irmai and team,
come this way. Join me this side, yes.
Yeah. We would like a group picture for our soccer stars as they line up. Ladies and gentlemen, the 11 finest players for the season 2021-2022.
And it's from these 11 players, ladies and gentlemen, that we are about to discover who the finest 3 players in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League are. And so we want to thank you guys. If you could now exit stage, as we, of course, if you could exit stage. Thank you so much, Brian Musa,
Divine Mindirira,
Frank Makarati, Nelson Chachga. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Wallace Magalane,
William Manondo, Walter Musona, Tino Benza, Gift Bello, Eli Ilunga, and Delik Murimba. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our presentation party will now present the brand new award, which is the Fans Player of the Year.
Fans Player of the Year. And before we do that, we would now ask to come forward our guest of honor to join the presentation party. So we'd like to call forward Dr. Benson Duve, the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, as we of course prepare to present the main awards for this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Soccer Star of the Year's Fans Choice winner 2021-2022 goes to Tinotenda Benza, Rentals College Football Club.
Chosen by the fans, ladies and gentlemen, Tinotenda Benza of Herentals Football Club. Ngatumombere mawoko. And this, of course, a new award. He is the inaugural winner of the People's Choice Award in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. The first to win it, Tinotenda Benza of Herentals Football Club. The fans voted, the fans decided that he was the best performer this past season. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Tinotenda Benza a round of applause.
And of course, Tinotenda Benza unseating William Manondo as Mr. Chibuku Super Cup, because he was a Golden Boot winner for the Chibuku Super Cup, an award that was regularly won by William Manondo.
And it's a family affair, and of course we see, is that Innocent Benza there?
It is.
Innocent, good to see you. Good to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, Innocent Benza.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into the main awards. And we will start with the Soccer Star of the Year for season 2021-2022. And we'll begin with the second runner-up.
The second runner-up, ladies and gentlemen, for the Footballer of the Year award, season 2021-22.
Soccer Star of the Year, second runner-up, 2021-2022, is Frankie Makarati.
Frank Makarati of Dynamos Football Club, the second runner-up, ladies and gentlemen. Outstanding defensive performances, and he did weigh in with goals as well for Dimbare in a season that started so well for the former champions, and then it unraveled somewhere in the middle, and then they tried to pick it up towards the end, but it was little too late. But his performances throughout the season, from start to finish, were nothing short of outstanding, and he is the second runner-up for the Soccer Star of the Year award, Frank Makarati. We're getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Frank Makarati a round of applause. Outstanding defender for Dynamos at Dimbare. We are inching ever closer. Only two envelopes remain. One for the first runner-up, the other for the Soccer Star of the Year. We know one winner. The other 10 players are holding their breath. It could be any one of them.
Can I go ahead?
Please go ahead.
Thank you so much.
As the Brazil game kicked off, Jeben.
You know, this one is very difficult for me. Soccer Star of the Year, first run-up, 2021-2022. William Manondo, Caps United.
William Manondo of Caps United. And of course, Mr. Farai Jerry. With that laugh, that celebration is a celebration for him as well.
Of a proud chairman.
A proud chairman of Caps United.
President, actually.
The president of Makepe Kepe, Shai Samfaro. The CEO of Caps United is also here. Kabasco, Charlie Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first runner-up, Footballer of the Year, 2021-2022 season in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, William Manondo.
Let's give William Manondo a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He is the first runner-up. He's also the top goal scorer of the just ended season, and an outstanding season, as he's congratulated there by Charlie Jones. One more award, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the top one. The one we have all been waiting for. The last time we were celebrating was exactly 3 years ago in the year 2019. On that night, it was Josta, Joel Ngozo. We didn't think it would be 3 years, but it has had to be 3 years. We now wait to find out who his successor is.
And the winner of the Castle Soccer Star of the Year Award 2021-2022 from Pure Platinum Play, Walter Tatenda Msona.
Walter Musona, Soccer Star of the Year, season 2021-2022.
The finest of them all, Walter Musona, scored goals for fun.
Wow, an emotional moment there for Walter Musona. Brilliant. Wow, we can do a lot better than that, ladies and gentlemen. He is the best player in the nation, Walter Musona, and it's obviously an award that means so much to him. Returning to Zimbabwe, returning to FC Platinum, and leading FC Platinum with his goals and outstanding performances as they won their 4th title in a row. He becomes the Soccer Star of the Year, season 2021-2022. And he's in tears, Barry, rightly so.
The emotions boiling over, and absolutely rightly so. The man worked hard, just like the team worked hard, and deserves every bit of this accolade as the finest footballer of the year for this past season. Ladies and gentlemen, from FC Platinum, Walter Musona. Yes.
Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Walter Musona of FC Platinum, the best player in the league, season 2021-2022. Walter, I'm going to call you forward. I know it's a hugely emotional time, Walter, but you must be pretty chuffed that you've won this one.
First of all, I want to thank God for giving me this talent. I also want to thank my teammates for helping me achieve this. My coach, I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. My mom, thank you so much for the support. My sister, thank you so much for the support. I also want to thank everyone who voted for me. It was not an easy season for us as FC Platinum. I think we worked very hard. Thank you so much.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that is Walter Musona. Very emotional at the moment. Mama Musona, aiwa tinokutendai nechipo chamakatipa, chipo chamakapa kumhuri yeFC Platinum, chipo chamapa kumhuri yeZimbabwe. Chiri kuvaraidza vanofarira zvemutambo yenhabvu muno muZimbabwe. Tinokutendai nehanzvadzi yacho aiwa tete. Tinokutendai. Walter, thank you, well done. Very emotional moment for Walter Musona. Means so much to him. And Walter, we want to ask you to just to remain. Walter, if you could come back to the shield here, Walter, we want to ask you.
Walter, if you could come to the...
if you could stand by the shield so that we can have the pictures taken. We are also going to ask our two winners as well.
The first runner-up and second runner-up.
If you could come forward.
Frank and William, if you could come forward and join your fellow winner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our runners-up a round of applause as they come to the winner's podium. Our podium, ladies and gentlemen. The second runner-up, Frank Makarati of Dynamos Football Club. First runner-up, William Manondo of Caps United. And our soccer star of the year for season 2021-2022, Walter Musona of Pure Platinum Play FC Platinum.
Let's celebrate them, ladies and gentlemen. Let's celebrate our big winners on the night, the most outstanding performers in our league. Walter Musona, William Manondo, Frank Makarati. Would like to call forward as well the coach of the year, Norman Mapeza.
Coach of the year.
If you could come forward.
If you could come
coach,
and join them.
Coach Mapeza, if you could come forward with your accolades. Would like to also call forward Nelson Shajga, the goalkeeper of the year. If you could come forward. Tino Tendabenza, winner of the People's Choice Award. Tino Benza, if you could come forward. All our individual winners this evening, please come forward. Most promising player, Jordan Barake, if you could come forward. Our three outstanding match officials, the referee of the year and your runners-up, if you could come forward. Let's give our match officials, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause as they come forward. We want to celebrate all our winners this evening. Jaden Baraka, ladies and gentlemen, and our match officials as they come forward.
All right, if we could, Ref Martin, if we could, finally you guys are smiling at each other, Norman Mapeza and Ref Martin. A quick picture of the group, and then we're going to ask if you could make a space in between the coach and Frank for a presentation party to join you in the middle for one group picture. So if our presentation party could come into the middle there, if you could just make space in the middle so that they can join you.
So Coach Mapeza, and you guys can move to your right.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful.
Our big winners tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations to our big winners for this evening.
Our photographers, are you happy, guys? Mukomali.
They say, could you tighten up? Could you tighten up?
Tighten up.
Squish together.
Squish together.
Congratulations to our big winners. And we're now going to release you to go down to your seats. Thank you to our presentation party, starting with the presentation party, our guest of honor, the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, the marketing director, and Mr. Rene Mota, both of Delta Beverages. Thank you so much for assisting us in presenting these awards.
And then a few more pictures, guys. If we could just get closer together, just
tighten. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're going to ask Walter Musona and Coach Mapeza to remain so that you can get a picture as Pure Platinum Play. Thank you very much to Nelson Chajga, William Manondo, Frank Makarati, Tino Benza, Jaden Barake, and indeed our referees.
Coach of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, from FC Platinum, and the Soccer Star of the Year.
Dr. Mashingaidze, please come forward. Denzel, come and share in this.
Gift Bello, Wallace
Gift
Bagalani,
Bello.
come, let's join the FC Platinum family.
Petros Mari, saw him somewhere. Club captain.
Just for a picture opportunity as we prepare for dinner. And as they come forth, we are about to get into dinner. And we just want to give you some instructions that we're going to ask you to kindly remain seated. And our waiters and ushers will come and serve you at your table. They'll usher you table by table, starting with our VIP tables to the serving points. And you'll be ushered there table by table. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a big night for FC Platinum, the champions, Coach of the Year, Soccer Star of the Year, and of course 2 of our finalists as well, joining those big winners on the night.
Phenomenal night for FC Platinum, Pure Platinum Play. Let's move this here. Oh, sorry, Coach. Big night for Pure Platinum Play.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give a round of applause to the FC Platinum family, big winners tonight.
Indeed. Thank you very much to Pure Platinum Play. You can go ahead and take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, like Mike said, please remain seated. We're going to ask now the marketing director of Delta Beverages, Mr. Irmai Muzorewa, to please come forward to present the last award of the night. And again, it is an honorary award. And I'm going to ask you to take center stage, sir.
I know I'm keeping you between the rest of the festivities, but as I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to extend a token of appreciation to Priti Maposa, who has been a part of this process and team organizing for the last 20 years straight. So my call upon Priti.
Priti! Guys, let's put our hands together for Priti. 20 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, a lady who works tirelessly. She's been at this venue probably for the last 48 hours straight, simply to deliver what we all see this evening, and has been doing that for the past 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Priti Maposa. A big round of applause. 20 years of service.
Yeah, Priti. You're used to be handing over now you're receiving one, eh?
Now you're receiving an award.
Oh, wow. Outstanding. Let's put our hands, ladies and gentlemen, for Priti Maposa, who has over 2 decades enriched this event, the Castle Lager Soccer Stars of the Year ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for the final piece on our program, in terms of the official program, allow me to call upon the Chief Executive Officer of the Premier Soccer League, Mr. Kennedy Ndebele, to deliver our vote of thanks before dinner. Could we...
If we could have our podium.
The podium, could we get the podium? Could our floor staff please deliver the podium? Because we removed the anti-Liverpool jokes out of Kennedy Ndebele's speech. He's going to look for them and he will not find them. Because one of the talents of the MCs this evening is hacking computers. One that you knew nothing of. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Executive Officer of the Premier Soccer League, Kennedy Ndebele.
Am I that tall? The directors of ceremony, I would request that you come closer. One on my left, the other one on my right. So, being Liverpool fans, I'm not sure whether England will make it with the Henderson in that lineup on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the directors of ceremony. They don't mind even if you say this one is Mike Manandi and then this one is Barry Matoda. It's one and the same thing. So we thank them for being the directors of ceremony. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The guest of honor, the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sport, Arts and Recreation, Dr. Benson Martins Dube, together with the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation representatives, the Sport and Recreation Commission Board Chairman, Mr. Gerard Mlocho in absentia. We would like to thank you for gracing this occasion. We would like to thank you for your incisive speech. There were a lot of lessons that we learned from your speech, sir, and I hope you'll continue to support sport, especially the most popular sport, which is football. Your support is highly valued. I would like to acknowledge the continued support from Delta Beverages that is provided to the Zimbabwean football over the years. The Delta Beverages Acting Chief Executive Officer, Alex Makamure, Delta Beverages Marketing Director, Mr. Irimai Mzorewa, the Operations Director, Laga Beer, Mr. Moses Kambiza, Operations Director, Sogam Beer, Dr. Mnyarazi Nyandoro, the General Manager, Lagas, Mr. Denomota Tichafa, the Executive Management and Staff at Delta Beverages. Your close cooperation with the PSL has been key to the success of our football. We value your continued commitment to the game of football. The Premier Soccer League Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Farai Jere, the Board of Governors here present, and leaders of various sporting clubs, coaches and players, We'd like to thank you for your passion, the legends of the game. Here present, I saw Charlie Jones, I saw the legend Mtizwa, Stanford Sticks. I would like to thank you for your continued love of the game. No one can take you away from football. We thank you for your dedication and commitment to football. While we were restarting our football, our doctors in the Sports Medicine Committee played a key role in ensuring that we comply with the directives, protocols, rules and regulations that were sent or were set by the Ministry of Health together with the SRC. I would like to thank Dr. Edward Chakonda, Dr. Nicholas Mnyonga for leading the process that led to the resumption of football up to a point where they've even forgotten to tell us whether COVID-19 protocols have to be followed or not. I guess we'll deal with that at the start of the year. We'd like to thank the Sport and Recreation Acting Director General and his team who facilitated the resumption of football together with the Zimbabwe Football Association, led by the acting president, Mr. Gift Banda, together with the acting ZIFA Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Xolisani Kwesela, the executive committee members who have been guiding football in the last 18 or 24 months. Also, would like to thank the partners, sponsors of the football clubs in the Premier Soccer League for ensuring that in the last 2 years, where we were grounded by the COVID pandemic, they remained solid and continued to sponsor football. I'd like to thank the owners of the stadia who have provided the facilities to ensure that we host our competitions. Coaches, doctors, and players, thank you for making our football great, and thank you for your commitment. ZTN and the other broadcasters that initially came on board, would like to thank you for your services. Robson, the Godfather, we acknowledge your contribution to football, together with your lieutenants. Obviously, Lawrence is some brigadier general in your lieutenants, and together with the other members of the Fourth Estate for the continued support. On behalf of the Premier Soccer League, I would like to sincerely thank everyone in this room for your significant contributions towards the Kaslaka Premier Soccer League 2021-2022 season. I also would like to express gratitude to those who made this event a success. Thank you, Preeti, and your team. And would like to thank the owners of this facility that gave us a cleat and ensured that our event was a success. Congratulations, Msona, and congratulations to the other 11 finalists who won tonight. And my challenge to the 11 is that next year we want to see the same 11 winning the Soccer Stars of the Year award. And this is a challenge to all of you, including the top goal scorer. Our sponsors have got an incentive for getting more goals. So if our goal scorer scores more goals, it's good for our partnership with Delta Beverages. Finally, I know the directors of ceremony mentioned dinner, so it provoked enzymes. And it's your time now. Last but not least is to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2023. I thank you.
Mr. Kennedy Ndebele, the CEO of the Premier Soccer League. Thank you so much, Kennedy. With the vote of thanks, and it brings us, Barry, to the end of the official bits and pieces of our program tonight.
It does indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our official program in the Soccer Star of the Year Awards season 2021-2022. As we said earlier, dinner is served. It's table by table, so please kindly remain seated. But from us as your hosts, a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2023. May God richly bless you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Manandi, out.